What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video, and today we're checking out Detective Comics number 1040. This is the transitional issue between Mariko Tamaki's first storyline and second one. Hey, good news, Dan Mora is back on art, so you already know this issue is gonna be at least decent. Now, getting into this new issue, we see Bruce turn himself in to the GCPD. He is now being accused of murdering Sarah Worth. The police don't have directions on what to do with Bruce next. Get the investigator on the line and find out what they want us to do. Meantime, put him in the tank. An officer says as Bruce is put in a cell with party crashers, homeless people, an old guy, and some guy drunk in the corner. Bruce sits down with a full suit. We switch to Barbara in a clock tower. She plans a way for Bruce to be pardoned out of jail. She also checks with nurse Jennifer on how Helena and Deb Donovan are doing at the hospital. They are both recently infected by Vile. Jennifer tells Barbara all is fine, they have both been cleared of their infections. Now guys, quickly I gotta say, Barbara looks great on this page. The artwork by Dan Mora depicts her so well. Also, the colors by Jordi Belair look excellent. Man, look at Barbara's hair. Her hair be shining. Now we switch back to Bruce in his cell. He sits next to the drunk guy. The drunk guy then tells him he knows who he is. "I know you're Batman," the drunk guy says. "How did you figure that out?" Bruce asks. The drunk guy then tells his story. 5 years ago, he worked in entertainment at Jackie's Pizza. He then heard a crash in the window. He looked up and saw Batman and the Joker engaged in a big fight. Guys, we get an awesome splash image that reminds me of Golden Age Batman. This is one of my favorite images that Dan Mora has ever done. Dan ain't messing around. He's giving us the best artwork. Now, this drunk guy saw the fights and he ran. He was actually smart about it. He didn't stick around. He made outside and decided to jump to a fire escape. The guy eventually made it to the roof. Down below, though, after a long fight, Batman knocked Joker out with a solid punch. Later, the man woke up on the rooftop. See, after climbing the roof, he fell asleep. That's when he started hearing boots. Someone else was on the roof with him. He looked out and saw the Batman. Batman couldn't see him though. Batman had something in his eye that prevented him from noticing the man behind him. I find this a little dumb though. It just feels a little far-fetched for me. Now you can guess what happens next. Batman takes off his mask to take the thing out of his eye. We don't know what the thing is though. Probably something Joker threw at him in the fights. With Batman's mask off, the man saw his identity, Bruce Wayne. After hearing this story, Bruce acts kind to the drunk man. The drunk man then gives more evidence as to why he thinks Batman is Bruce. Bruce doesn't confirm he's Batman though. Good on him. And I gotta say, Mariko Tamaki is writing Bruce very well here. He's very down to earth, and I like that. We then switch to the Iceberg Lounge. Penguin smiles and prepares to eat his dinner. After dinner, we burn something down, he says. We then switch back to Bruce's cell. His time is up. He starts walking out of his cell. "Nice meeting you," Bruce says. "Yeah, you too, buddy," the drunk man says. Bruce has now been officially pardoned. He's off the Sarah Worth case. A big explosion is then heard nearby. Bruce checks his phone to see it has low battery. We then switch to the Gotham City shipyard. "I am a busy man, Penguin," Mr. Worth says as he meets up with the Penguin. "Vile is alive," Penguin says. "How alive?" Mr. Worth asks as he walks into a warehouse full of thugs. "Bruce Wayne will die," Worth says. Yes, he will," Penguin says, smiling. We switch back to Bruce walking out of the GCPD. He sees an entire huge building burning to the ground. "This terrible city. What a shame," a woman says. "Plans for Wayne's violent death are already underway, but as we agreed earlier, Mr. Worth, If we are to do this effectively, we need to cut off Wayne's protection fully, and so the Batman will be our first priority. Penguin says as we switch back to the Gotham shipyard. Mr. Worth agrees to work with the Penguin. Penguin then shows Worth Vial, who sits on a bed healing. With this monster, we'll have all we need to destroy Batman. The jury has spoken, Penguin says, looking down at Vial. And that is how we end this issue. Like I said before, a very transition type issue. There's really only two important things that happened. Bruce got pardoned, and Penguin finally brought together all the villains in this run. So now the stakes are higher, and things will finally get a lot more interesting. This story has potential, and I'm actually really excited, but I am also super skeptical at the same time. Now to the artwork. The art really helps in this issue. The story is just fine, whereas the art is phenomenal. Dan Mora and Joy Belair knock it out of the park. If it wasn't for them, this issue would have just been like, okay at best, but it is actually solid with their arts and colors. Overall, I'm gonna give this issue an 8 out of 10. I recommend it. Check it out. Tell me your guys' thoughts on this issue down below. If you liked the video, give a big thumbs up. New channel, make sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Detective Comics video. And yeah, thanks for watching, and peace out.